What's up, guys? It's your girl Matt Cox with Maccouture Crafting, and today is September 1st, the first day of Halloween here at the parks. So before we get into this 3-yard quilt, I thought I would just take you guys around and show you some of the really cool things that they have going on here, and then we'll jump into this Tim Holtz kind of spooky 3-yard quilt.
We'll see this our town of Halloween. This is Halloween, this is Halloween. Pumpkins scream in the dead of night. This is Halloween, everybody make a scene. Trick or treat till the neighbors light a fright. It's our town, everybody scream. It's the town of Halloween. Hiding at the Orville, teeth round sharp and eyes glowing red. I am the one hiding at your stare. Names like snakes and spiders in my hair. This is Halloween, this is Halloween. Halloween, 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 Halloween. Now scream, is the clown with a terrible face. Here in a flash and gone without trace. This is Halloween, this is Halloween. Halloween, 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 Halloween. Now scream, and then I'm everywhere. Like some fun without a good scare. That's our almost weird like me. In our town of Halloween. This is Halloween, this is Halloween. Halloween, 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 Halloween. Now scream, in this town we call home. Everyone hail to the pumpkin song. La 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 la, Halloween, Halloween, la 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 la, Halloween, Halloween. It's our town, everybody scream. In this town of Halloween.
We are doing a 3-yard quilt today, and this is some fabric that I picked up from Candy's when I was there, and I really didn't have a true plan for what pattern I wanted to use, but I just had to play in this fabric. I just had to. I just really wanted to, so this is what we're doing. I believe this is from the Abandoned collection and the Eclectic Elements, the Alchemy. The Alchemies are amazing to me. I mean, I'm just a big fan of Tim Holtz anyway. So, and I was in the mood to do something that leaned a little bit more masculine. So, hey, here we are. Then I had to pick out a pattern, and I was going between the Making It Christmas and this one, but I can't find my Making It Christmas book, so that took care of that. We're going to do Rick Rack from the Quick as a Wink. This is probably one of my favorite books because I've done a lot of the quilts in here. I shouldn't say that. I think I've done this one, this one, this one, and this one. This one being my absolute favorite, Soho. So, and that's funny because Churn Dash would be my second favorite. Anyway, we are doing Rick Rack. Let's get to it. Our fabric 1, I believe, is going to be this rust color here. Color 2 will be this gold, and that's what I really wanted to do, is I just wanted to see this gold in the background of a quilt. And then our 3 is going to be this darker color right here, and that's that. It's going to be nice and easy. It's interesting the way that this comes together, and I think this quilt will lend itself well to it. I think so. So first things I'm going to do is press this out, and then we'll start cutting our fabric 1. I wouldn't be me if I wasn't going to make a change of some sort. And I just wanted to show you guys that right here, the border is the fabric number 1. And I knew that I wanted the black to be one of the stripes in the rickrack, and I knew that I wanted the blue to be the gold. So I was going back and forth about, did I want the rest to be in the border? And I really don't. I'm just going to let the black be the border because it just feels like the most reasonable thing to do right now. So we are switching the darkest fabric, this black fabric, to fabric number 1. So we've cut all of our fabric out. As you can see, it didn't take a long time. It's not a whole bunch of fabric to actually cut. So here we have our fabric 1, which I really have to be careful because I want to make this the 3 in my mind. So I have to be careful. 1, fabric 2, and this right here is fabric 3. And it's really very, very simple. Some smaller ones, some medium ones, a large one, medium, large, small, medium, and large. So for our first step, I'm going to grab this one, a medium size 1, and a large size 2, and I'm going to sew those down on the long edges. Before I sew this, I just want you guys to see the pattern here. So there's a medium and a large gold, a medium gold, large black. They're just the reverse of one another. And we're going to sew all these down on the long side, and then we'll worry about those other fabrics. But this is really an easy way to see it. Perfect. I'm loving what I'm seeing here. This is going to go together really fast. So now I have taken all of them and sewn them and pressed them. It doesn't matter which direction you press it. You can press it open, you can press it to a direction. It doesn't matter. Nothing's got to match up. I just pressed everything toward the smaller one. So the smaller one was on top, opened it, pressed it, and so everything is going that way, which happens to be going to the dark side here. It just goes that way, all of my seams. So after that, you can put those to the side, and now we need to start subcutting. So we're going to cut these strips down. True Fabric Cafe style quilt here. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to start over here. I tried to line up the selvage on this side. Even though it's the same manufacturer, it's not the same exact length, which is fine. I'm going to put this down here. I'm going to take off the selvage as close to the edge as I can, and then we are going to subcut. All right, now that I've got a clean cut, I'm going to go on ahead and make my first cut. I try to line up the ruler with something at the bottom, and I'm using the ruler, not the mat. And I'm going to make my first cut. And the object of the game is to get 12 of these out of this strip. And there we have it. All right, so we're going to do that with all of those other strips. So that's going to take me a minute, and I'm just going to enjoy it. Put on some music or some podcast. Probably not some music, but some podcast or some YouTube. And I will check back with you when I have all of those cut. So I have cut everything up, and we've got block A, block B, block C, and block D. So now let's make these blocks. So to make our first block, we're going to grab A, and we're going to turn it upside down. And then we are going to grab block D, and we are going to keep this right side up. Okay, so that's your first block. Then you're going to grab your extra fabrics that you've cut, and you are going to sew them next to these. So all these need to be sewn together. You're going to sew these two together first, and then you're going to sew this strip onto the side, and then you're going to cut it even with the block. I'll show you, don't worry. Next, we're going to grab fabric C, and we're going to turn that one upside down. And then we're going to sew this one just next to it like that. And then we're going to take our extra fabric number 3 and we're going to put it next to it, and all these will be sewn together. So it's this block, and that's the whole quilt. So first I'm going to take this set and put it to the side. So we are going to work on these right here. Now I have 3 of these full width of fabric strips, so I'm going to take one and cut off the selvage, which I've already done. Then we're going to take these 2 strips and we're going to put them right sides together. And I'm just going to sew down the side really quickly. Nothing to match up, nothing to really pin. It's fine. I have sewn this unit together. It looks good. Let me tell you, I am a press to a side kind of gal. However, with this one, because there are so many things that are going to have to line up in regards to the blocks stacking on top of one another, just trust me, press everything, open. So this seam right here that I just sewed, just press that open. Don't even think about it. Don't worry about it. Press it open. Now you're going to take this strip. You're going to go right sides together. Or you can measure this strip and cut it to what it's supposed to be. It's up to you. And then you are going to sew down. Let's do it. I just went ahead and sewed down the side there. Now I'm going to flip this over. And I am going to just cut it even, which is what the directions say to do, with this block. And then I'm going to press this seam open. Give me just a second. And there is our finished block A. Nice and simple. Pressed open. Looks good. I feel good about it. Let's go on ahead and I'm going to show you the other one just for funsies. But it is the exact same except for with the other fabrics. So this one here, we've got our C unit, our B unit, and we are just going to add this piece to the outside the same way we did the other one. First, I'm going to take off this selvage. Tim Holtz has these nice, big, pretty selvages like Ruby Star. They're huge, but they just look randomly very nice. I don't know why. All right, so we're going to go right sides together. And this is what this one looks like. And so this entire quilt will be comprised of 1A, 1B, 1A. Now that we have our blocks all done, let's work on these borders and just get them nice and prepped. This is going to be the inner border and this is going to be the outer border. This is why we changed the 1 and the 3 fabrics, just so that we could have this guy on the border. And I'm really liking this. It's definitely got a moody kind of feel to it. It's dark. It feels luxe. It feels, like I said, moody. So to do the borders, you are not going to sew them like you would your strips, your binding strips that you would do on a different style quilt. With your borders like this, you want to be sure to simply cut off the selvages and sew them end to end. And just do one long strip, and then you measure from that strip and cut as needed. And it's that simple. So I just stack them up one on top of another. And then I just cut these ends off. And then we just sew them back to back. I'll take these 2 right sides together, right over to the sewing machine. And just like that, we have them attached. I'm going to press that open and I'm going to keep going and just add another one. I'll do the same thing for these yellow strips. So we are back visiting this Rick Rack quilt because it's time to finish it. I very seldom have a bunch of projects going, but this is one that I had to leave and now I'm coming back. And I realized that the way that you assemble this is a little funky, which is cool. I like it. So let me show you how it's going to go. You have an A block, and our A block is this block right here with the big black one. And you're going to lay it this way for the first row. I think I'm actually going to have to show you. No, it repeats at some point, but there's definitely a pattern to this. So let me tell you, the first row is going to go A, B, B, and then A. But the A is not turned in the same direction. So the way that I'm going to keep these oriented properly is by this long solid strip right here. So for the B's, let me grab block B. This is going to touch this long one here. And then the other B block is going to touch this long one here. All right, I'm going to sew this all together, and that's going to be row 1, and we're just going to build row by row by row. Otherwise, I'm not going to get the pattern that I'm looking for, and I had no idea. I thought it was just going to be A, B, A, B. Nope, there's a little more to it. So let's just go row by row together. I am so glad that I caught this before I just messed it all up. Okay, so this one's going to be A. This is an A block with the longest thing on this side. Then we're going to match another A. And the long block is going to be on this side. So it's going to go like this. Then we're going to do B. So B is going to match here. And then we're going to do another B. And I'm going slow and I'm taking my time because, yep, it's a little bit confusing, but gives a really cool effect. So we've got the A's with the long bars on this side. Look for the black bar, the full bar. And then we've got the B's right here. And then I'm going to sew this together. Then I'm going to sew this to this. I can see it happening here. Because remember, the gold is what's going to give us that, this right here. And that's what we're looking for. And I think when we step back from it, or maybe your view gives you a little bit more of what's going to happen when this black touches itself. I think that's going to be cool. And I think it's going to do the thing. But right now, I just see a sea of, just a sea of stuff. I can't see it just yet. So bear with me. I'm going to do this row. I'm going to press this row this way, press this row this way, put them together, and then we'll build the third row. I want to show you guys one of my tricks because I get very confused when I get over to the sewing machine on which direction to sew I get very confused when I go to the ironing board and it's time to press my seams. So I just put a clip, be careful, don't hit it with the iron, where I want which direction I want them to go. Because right now I'd be like, what? By the time I got to the ironing board, my whole brain would be turned around. So this is how I do that. And I just thought I should show you guys so that I get nice nesting seams right here where these are going to come together. All right, our next row. So these two rows started with A's. Now we're going to do the exact same thing that we did with those, but we're going to start with B's. So I'm going to grab a B. And the post is going to go right here. The long post is going to be to the right. This is for row 3. Then I'm going to grab an A, and the post is going to meet it. Then I'm going to grab a B, and this post is going to, nope, that's wrong. I'm going to grab another A. And it is going to go this way. Then I'm going to grab a B. This is so interesting how this comes together. Who'd have thunk it? All right, and that's how that's going to go. Now, as you're sewing these together, if you want to get super precise intersections, you're going to need to pin. And you're going to need to pin at every single one of these. I'm off here. I'm on where I did pin. And I'm like, oh, do I care? Do I not? Far away, it's not going to be an issue. But up close, if the police come out, the good QPs come out, they're going to be like, wait, what's happening here? What's happening right here? So, I mean, it's not, it's like, I don't know. You still get the effect. But that's a lot of pins. But, you know, do what you do. So I'm going to sew this row next. And I can see my design carrying on here. So I know I'm doing it right. So now we are on row 4. And we are going to start with another B. And we are going to just make the pattern. The bar is on the left. Then we're going to take another B and we are going to flip it around. And the second block, the bar is right here on the right. And then we're going to do the same thing with the A. The bar is going to be this way. And then we're going to grab another A. And it's going to be this way. Nope, I had it right the first time. And I can see the zigzag forming here. And I can see it going through there. I think we were cooking with gas. So we've got B, bar. The bar is, oh, this is the bar right here for the B. Then we have the A, and there's the bar. And then the A, there's the bar. I went ahead and pinned every single one of those intersections. It didn't take me much longer. So if you want to really keep it nice and clean and the illusion tight, go ahead and pin every single way. It's not going to hurt it at all. So for row 5, we have an A here. And we've got the bar to the right. We're just duplicating the very first one that we did. The very first row. So then we have a B here. And we're making the bars match. So we have a full bar and a full bar. Now we have another B as in boy. And the bar is over to the right. And then we have an A here. And we're going to make sure that this bar goes right here. Let's check our pattern. I can see it moving properly the way it's supposed to. I can't believe how this comes together. This is so funny. Totally thought it was just going to be a little more simple than this. Not hard, just have to pay attention. All right, so we're going to go on ahead and sew this, and then we'll do the last row. Okay, so our last set here is block A, bar over here, block A, bar over here, block B, bar over here, block B, bar over here, and that is all she wrote for the innards of this. I'm going to go on ahead and put this together. Then I'm going to do the borders like I said. I'm just going to measure and cut the border and then sew it, which will give you borders that are not wavy. When you tend to just sew it on there and then cut it even, sometimes you're going to get some wavy borders. I don't want wavy borders. So this will be, the next time you see all this, it will be pieced. All right, guys, thanks so much for following along with me. I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek of what this looks like really quickly. Because I just want you to be able to see, well, I guess I can't do that, but the row assembly, it's clear. You know, it does say the A block and the B block. I just find that it's best to put these together with the bar. Always pay attention to where the solid bar is, and you'll be fine when you put it together. Just look for the solid sewn bar. You'll be absolutely fine. All right, I can't wait to step away from this and see what it looks like from a distance, because up close I'm like, I feel like I'm sure that I messed something up. But whatever it is what it's going to be. All right, I will see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.